share with you a quick story. When I was a student, I used to work in a restaurant because yes, as student, the best place to have a job and quickly that pays well are restaurant. But something that was funny at the time is that in this kind of business scheme, when you work, you know exactly when you start, but you never know when you finish. The reason is a shift can finish very early or very late. Depends on the day of the week. Usually Friday nights we work very long. But for me, it was kind of an advantage because the more I work, the more I made money. And as a student, I needed the cash actually. So I decided to just make sure in the restaurant that I become someone useful to make sure that I can have a real added value behind the stand. The thing is, at the time, they were working with very old machines and very old POS, not very reliable, a lot of problems with it. So I just made sure that I could understand the system to make sure that at the end of the session, I could quickly resolve the problems that we may have met during the session. My name is Mohamed, and I'm the product owner of Point of Sale. Today, I will present you all the new features and invite you to reimagine what a POS could be today with Odoo. I invite you to scan this QR code to have access to the pad. The idea is you write down your questions, your comments, and your feedback. My talk will last around 20 minutes, and the idea is that at the end of it, we'll have a quick Q&A session. The agenda of today is starting with a quick introduction. Then we will discover the new restaurant application. Then we'll talk about the delivery services that are finally here at Odoo. 4, I will do a quick comparison with all the improvements that have been done from 17 to 18. And I will end up with integration that I'm sure will interest a lot of you. This year, the focus was put on 3 aspects: the simplicity of use, minimizing the setting, and the field experience. Minimizing the setting is actually the way to go for you people to launch your POS by your own and making sure that you got all the very useful features and that you can configure them as soon as possible without any help needed. About field experience, this year at Odoo, we created a new team, business developers. Their job was to go directly to restaurant and retail shop. Why? Because one thing that we are convinced of is that we cannot provide a good product if you don't read it in reality. So what we've done is we told the clients, okay, now you're going to get a free implementation, which means you're going to be assisted with a consultant, a sales developer, etc., etc. The only thing we ask you is to go live as soon as possible. But this is not possible if you're missing the necessary feature that help you to do your work on a daily basis. So all this field experience have been used, gathered, challenged, and used to develop all the new amazing features I'm going to present you. So I will quickly start. The new restaurant application. What it is, why did we do it, what is the use of it actually? Well, we've noticed that in a lot of restaurants, you usually work with smartphones, with tablets, or any other stand machine. And we know that in the end, the only thing you're expecting when you launch a POS, you just have a POS icon, because I just want to open my restaurant. I don't need to end up on the back end and having to touch the setting. Maybe an employee that does not have the right to go on the back end had the possibility to do it in the past. We made sure this is not possible anymore. Quick demo. So this is what you guys have been used to. But now, I'm going to go directly in my restaurant. I will open the register. And wow, new screen. This is exactly what you're going to see every morning just before launching your POS. I will open the register. Now, I have the PIN security activated. A PIN can be given to any employee of the database. Usually, it can be interesting for administrator or manager to have a PIN to ensure that only the administrator can do specific action or go to the backend. I will start by logging as a basic user, just a simple cashier. I will log in as Abigail. Abigail has a quick PIN, which is 11111. I will open the register. And now Abigail is launched on this amazing new floor plan. Now Abigail, as you can see, has limited action she can do. She cannot go to the back end, she cannot close the session, but she can still do cash in, cash out, and do basic sales. Now I will switch directly to Mitchell Admin. I have 2 options. The first one, I just click here, select Mitchell Admin, and enter the PIN. The second thing is, if you don't need to switch now and you just want to make sure that your POS is standing next to the bar and then you're moving because you're doing a lot of things, you can just lock. And now we'll just unlock the register. I can do it with the PIN directly, since I know it. I can do it by selecting the employee on the list, or I can do it by scanning barcode, or an RFID if you do have one. So now I'm logged in as an administrator, Mitchell Admin. As Mitchell Admin, I would like to download finally this application. How should I do? Just go here on the top, install app. Click on it. And here, as you can see, we are trying to download an app in your computer. I can definitely change the name if I want. I can just call it Odoo, for instance. This. And now I can install the app. Installing an app, now as you can see, is a new window. This new window is working as a restaurant on its own, which means that if I close it, and I just start searching for it here, as you can see, I have Odoo. You can put it there, because it's going to be used. Now I can just click on it, and it will launch my restaurant. I will just unlock the register. I will just close this, and directly just use this one. Voilà. The second thing is delivery services. I know you guys have been very patient. I know you guys need actually this delivery service. So we try to find the best solution to make it work with Odoo. And you know what? You don't need all these tablets that Uber, Deliveroo, Takeaway provide you when you use this delivery system. We found an amazing tech company in India called Urban Piper. These guys are geniuses. What they do actually is they provide you a platform, and within this platform, you have all the vendors available. What I mean is you have Zomato, Swiggy for the Indian people, you have Uber Eats, Takeaway, you have Careem for other countries. Nearly everything is there, and if it's not there yet, it's going to be on the future. Why did we choose Urban Piper? Urban Piper is working very hard on a daily basis to implement all the vendors available. They provide amazing dashboard, which means that when you will create an account on Urban Piper, you will have access to amazing data analysis, reporting, detailed one, etc., etc. But how does it work concretely? It's as easy as connecting an API, actually. I'm just going to go in my database, in the setting, and connect my account on Urban Piper to Odoo. And everything will be working out of the box. As you can see, at the moment, we have, you can see here, only 3 vendors. The thing is, we are still currently under development for all the vendors available in the market. But no worries. For the clients on premise and on SH, even if we are on Odoo 18, and let's say Uber is only available in the 2 next version, you will be available to just download it in the App Store because it's a module-based development, which means that doesn't matter which version you are, you just have to download it just like an app. In terms of pricing, you will have 2 options. The first one is you go to Urban Piper its own, and you create an account, and then we make the link between Urban Piper and Odoo. And Urban Piper, since you will be recognized as an Odoo client, you will have an interesting price. The second option is directly with the salesman or the partner manager. We can do it for you guys. And of course, also, you will have advantage prices. Now, I would like to spot for you guys what has been the improvements from 17. Because as I told you, the main focus was minimizing the setting and simplicity of use. And it is in all these small things that we've done that you will find the more added value for your daily basis flows. First one, notes. We have these predefined notes actually in database, which means that if you use to have specific notes for orders, let's say you need things to be served now, you need things to be served later, no dressing, blah, blah, blah. In one click, you can just select it, configure it in the backend if you want, or just write it down, like create a new one. And in the kitchen, the information will be displayed. So they will have access to the information directly. It means that if I order now spaghetti, and spaghetti is waiting because the client is still eating the starter, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to say to the kitchen, send the spaghetti, I will just say to this button, to serve, and the kitchen will see, OK, it's to serve, I have to prepare it now. And for the pickiest clients, you can also customize all your notes. For instance, no pickles, because nobody likes pickles in the end. To show you what it looks like in Odoo, I'll just unlock the register, log in as Mitchell admin, just open a table. And let's say I take this salmon and avocado. But I am quite a picky client. So you know what? I want no salmon, like this, and no pickles. If I apply it, it's directly on the line. And on the kitchen display, it will appear this way, no worries. The second thing is general notes. This will be linked to Urban Piper, of course, with clients that when they order something on the Uber app, give you notes, or you can just add them for your own at the footer. Let's say you want to add notes, like please add me one Fanta. You can apply it there. It's a lot of notes, but these notes appear only at the bottom. What it's going to look like, actually, is that when you're going to pay, as you will see, the general note will still appear on the ticket, which is linked to all the integration of Urban Piper. Will be very useful according to what the client asked. The second point is backend views. No need to understand exactly what is a backend view. The only thing I want you to understand today is that in the past, for some actions, you needed to go in the backend. It had to be done by the administrator, or because it was, raising some security issues, like a basic user could go to the accounting in the backend, etc. We try to make sure that you provide all the information needed in the front end for customers, bookings, and other details. What does it look like, actually? If I open table 9, and I select a new client, let's say Addison Olson. If I click on Edit Details, I have exactly the same view as you have on the contact application in Odoo. And every information you update here is updated in the database. This form view is very detailed. You have all the data needed that you will have in the backend. The second thing are the bookings. For the old one of you, you can remember that you had to go on the navbar and manage appointments. It's not needed anymore. Now you have all the bookings available directly in your POS front end. You just have to switch a tab. Now I can just manage all the bookings. I can just add one if needed, like this. Up. Like this. You can just add a statue. It has been booked, check-in, no-show, cancel. But let's say this one is booked, actually. You can just click on Save. This one is saved. And it's in my booking here. On the table, you can directly see it. If it's red, it means that it's late. If it's white, it means that it's incoming. So it gives you directly a first look directly available. If the client calls and changes something, or if the client changes something on the website through his reservation management, it will be automatically adapted here. But if you need to change it manually here, you can just click on it, modify it, or go back to the booking and just move it. It's as easy as this. But a colleague of mine will present you how to manage bookings in Odoo more deeply, I think in 2 hours. So don't miss that talk. But what was I saying? Yeah, I need to move back to a table. Let's say I want to move back to table 9. Now I have this table selector, which means that I can move very easily to another table without going to the floor plan. Just clicking by 9, I am now in table 9. Isn't it wonderful? Another point that has been reported a lot by all this field experience that we've gathered is we need virtual tables. What does that mean? It means that in this kind of situation that you may probably know, you have people sitting at a table, but you have people sitting at the bar, but you have people standing. There is no table linked, but these people still need to order things. What are you going to do? Just create all these tables on your floor plan and just pollute it? No. We provide now these floating orders, actually. And it's my preferred feature, I think, this year, because it just allows us to do amazing flows now within Odoo. So let's say table 9, just order quick stuff, doesn't matter. And now you have a guy coming. He just wants to get a Coke, for instance. But he doesn't have any table. He would just get a Coke and then go outside to smoke a cigarette. But you know this guy is still here. We can just create here a floating order and add the Coke. As you can see on my floor plan, I still have this floating order. Now, let's go deeper. Oh yeah, not like this. So now, let's say this table 904 is for a birthday. And you want to make sure that all the sales are gathered in one account. Let's say it's Emma's birthday. What I could do is just edit the order name. Let's call it Emma's birthday, like this. And now I have this floating order with a customized name that helps me keep track of it. The use case is for most birthday parties or whatever events, people come at the bar and say, oh, I'm part of this event, so whatever I just buy now will be on the same account of the guy who is going to pay at the end. Because there's always that guy who has to pay everything at the end. The third point is linking, merging, transfer. In restaurant, people tend to do whatever they want. They are the clients. You have to provide them the best service ever. Some people will come sit at one table. Some friend will join later. They need to move table. They need to maybe cancel this one, transfer the others, blah, blah, blah. A lot of use cases. We try to make it very easy the way you used to do it. How does it work actually? Now in Odoo, let's say I have my table 9, people coming to eat. And then, let's say table 9 and the guy from table 10 are friends. And they just want to grab both table and link them. What you could do is just grab table 10 and link it. On the top, I can see link table 10 with 9. It's OK. And now I can see that table 9 and 10 are linked. All the orders that are here are linked, actually. Now it's the same account. To unlink it, it's very easy. Just move it back. It has never been as easy as this. A fourth point is dine-in takeout. I know this feature exists for a long time now, but something we've noticed is that people misuse it. What we've tried now is that we make it one setting. If you go on the setting of your restaurant, you will find it's in takeout. If you activate this, it will deactivate all the flexible tags because we believe that simplicity is key. If you have this feature, you don't need to complexify all your flow with all these flexible tasks available for a restaurant that has a constraint of making sure that for B2C, the end price has to remain the same. Only the VAT will change. The way we did it this year is very easy. I just activated the setting in the backend. And now, what does it look like? If I take this and this is considered as dine-in. But if I click here, switch to takeaway, as you can see, my price remains the same, but my tax has changed. I can just go back and switch, and the price remains the same. All the details about how to use this feature properly are available in the documentation. If you use it properly, this is going to be a game changer for you guys, because you will never have to worry about flexible tax anymore. Another pain point we've noticed is that at Odoo, we couldn't track everything. So it raised a lot of frustration for business owners. You have employees, you have students, always coming and moving back. Some people are coming, some of them leave. And then the thing is that everyone is doing a lot of stuff during rush hour. Some of them are taking cash, some of them are refunding stuff. You need to keep track of everything. We put a focus on it this year, which means that in the backend, for the administrator only, you will have access to all the login, log off. If employee switch, you have access to all the order lines that has been edited. Let's say, I'm not very honest, I just have a friend of mine coming to the restaurant, and I say, okay, I'm gonna order for you like 2 meals, and then when it comes to payment, I say, you know what, I'm just gonna remove one, so you have to pay less. This is tracked in Odoo now, and you can also find all the payment methods by employee. You can know which employee took what amount of cash, card, or customer account, or any other payment method available. And the last big feature I really like is everyone deserves a second chance. This may seem very simple, but it hasn't been done for years. We try to do it, but we try to do it properly with the perfect need. The need is when you are in restaurant, rush hours, someone come, yeah, I'm going to pay by card, whatever, and then the guy, because you're fast, it's rush hour, you don't want to lose time by making sure it's validated, you just want to rush. He pays by card, you validate, you try to do something else at the moment. But the guy says, oh, I forgot my card. What do we do now? In the past, it was a pain to manage. You had to go in the back end, put journal entries. Now, we made sure that if the ticket is not printed yet, you still have access to this. Edit payment. You can just go here on payments and modify it. Let's say he paid by cash. You do like this. And as you can see, on the ticket, it's updated. It's as easy as this. But when you print the ticket, the option is not available anymore. Plus, I would like to add, this payment editing option is only available for administrator. We've made the case in a restaurant where students used to just put everything on customer account, but account that did not exist. So in the end, the owner of the restaurant ended up losing a lot of money. We tried to make sure that this never happened anymore. And I will finish with the integrations. The first one I would like to talk about is WhatsApp. Of course, WhatsApp, you know it. You can send receipt with it. But I will go even further. With WhatsApp marketing now, in the backend, you can make sure to make full analysis. Okay, I have these clients. I know they tend to buy like tuna sandwich. That's what they do. But let's say you want to provide a new product, a new sandwich, and you want to make sure that they are up to date. With all the data analysis available, you can just retrieve the data and making sure you send marketing messages to tell them, oh, you know what? We got a new sandwich. You should come and try it. The second integration is Razorpay. Maybe it doesn't talk for anyone, but for India, it's very important. This payment provider allows them to have now online payment, automatic one, and QR code ones at the POS. All of this within the same app. My name is Mohamed. Thank you for listening. And now let's move on to the questions.
Thank you, Mohamed. It was a very interesting presentation.
Thank you.
So, of course, we have some sub-questions. I'm going to start with an easy one. Does it work offline?
Yes. What you mean by does it work offline? You need to make sure, the challenge was since we are working with the browser, actually the browser, when it detects no internet connection, he's just telling you, I cannot work actually. And we cannot do anything about it. So what we did, we make sure that all the flows you do in POS are now working offline. You can open a session, you can do transaction, but you will not be able to close it, since closing requires to put the journal entries in the right accounts. This needs connection. But no worries, if you're working with several tablets, several POS configuration, it just work offline, no worries.
So the next question, I think you saw it coming. What about the black box legislation in Belgium?
So I know this year has been very tough. We've been running after time all the time. We deployed a new version. We had to go to the SPF, making sure it just follows and to remain compliant with what they ask us. As from 18, what we've done is we made sure that before the OXP, we went to the SPF. We delivered them the version 18 of the black box module we developed. This should be certified in the coming weeks, which means that when you will be launched on Odoo 18, no more question about certification. And you know what, for the future, we made sure that you will never have a dead version with no certification. If you move to 18.1, 18.2, or whatever, we are making sure that you're always certified. So this is not your concern anymore.
So the next question is more related to Latin America. Did you consider that Urban Piper doesn't work in Latin America? And did you know, and do you have a plan about that?
Personally, I didn't know about it. And if it doesn't work, the thing is, we just tried to find the best solution that could work as standard as possible worldwide. But for this specific localization, we will make a deeper analysis. Don't hesitate to come back at the stand with me to deep dive the case.
The next question is, can I generate a cash flow without the employee sees it?
What do you mean, like doing cash out, cash in, but without traceability?
Yeah, I think that's...
Everything you do now, if you cash in, cash out, this is all tracked in the backend, actually. So you will see at the end of the session, if you lost some cash, you can just see at the session who manipulated cash, who cashed in, who cashed out, and who took payment in cash or refunded by cash. So this kind of problem will never happen anymore.
So now a question about the splitting the table. What happens with the check when you split the table?
We do a specific checks, actually. Let's say this table 9, I will put just 3 items on it. As you can see, as from here, the amount is 16.70 euros. If I do a split, and I just want to split this line and this line, I just created a floating order. That's why I say the floating order are amazing. And now if I go to payment, card, validate, like this. Now as you can see, this new floating order 907 has a specific ticket for its own. But if you go back to the initial one, table 9, as you can see, the amount is deduced, which means that if I go to payment, like this, I will have only the 1150 left.
Okay. Another question about Urban Piper. Does it require to have Odoo SH?
No. No.
Okay, fully standard. Nice. Can we have approval rules in the point of sale?
What did you mean by approval? Like if you want to remove something, to add discounts or whatever?
For example, if there is a specific product, I need to have approval from a manager to be able to sell.
This doesn't exist at the moment. The only thing we are thinking about in the future is adding a third layer of rights. Because at the moment you have the administration right, you have the basic rights. Of course, there are differences. But we've noticed that in some country, like LATAM, they spend a lot of money in development to create, let's say, very low rights to make sure that these rights people can just do a specific setup of action, which is just check out simple transaction and nothing else. We will tend to do it in the future. At the moment, we are still gathering a lot of feedback to make sure that what we're going to provide you guys will be the best product we could do.
Sorry. I'm trying to find the next question. There's a lot of people typing at the moment. Does floating order show on the floor map? I think you showed that, but maybe it was not clear for everyone.
Yes, as you can see, Emma's birthday is still there. I can see just checkout. But if I want, I can just create a lot of them. And I have them all available here, actually. Works the same on mobile. And they are still here on the top.
Great. Is it possible to split the ticket by amount instead of by quantity? A big table of 10 people and €100 total should be 10 tickets of €10.
No, you cannot split by amount. The only indication you can get is doing this kind of things. If I do this action and put guests, sorry. If I put, let's say, 10 guests, as you can see, sorry, I didn't show you, but the guest here, as you can see, the amount per guest is 116. And if I go to payment, I can see that it's 116 per guest. But it is not allowed for us at the moment to provide you a splitting way by amount. But we are thinking about it, just like being able to split one bottle of wine in two. This is the kind of things we are thinking about because we know you need it, guys. We just need to gather more user experience, and we will think about it seriously.
Okay, so I think the questions now are more specific, so maybe they can see you at later at the Odoo experience?
Of course, I'm at the booth, so hall 7, all the way deep. You can come ask whatever question you want. And if it's about self and kiosk, before asking me anything, just go at the bar, serve yourself, and just put orders as much as you want. Thank you.
Thank you.